Are you thinking of moving to Charleston, South Carolina, and you're thinking Summerville specifically? Well, we're going to talk about the top 7 things you need to know before moving to Summerville, South Carolina. We'll talk a little about schools, flooding, homes, and what you absolutely should know before you make the move here. Make sure you don't miss the last point because it's the most important point. So, let's get into it. Before we get into all the things you need to know about Summerville, if you're thinking about moving to Charleston or the Summerville area, give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email. My name's Kristyn Garcia, your real estate expert in Charleston, South Carolina, and I would be happy to answer any questions you have about moving here. Whether you're moving in 6 weeks or 6 months, just reach out. My contact information is in the description below. The first thing you need to know about Summerville, South Carolina is that it is affordable. Summerville is a great place to live if you're looking for an affordable option that still offers access to Charleston, South Carolina and its beaches. And as a result, a lot of people are moving here from all over the United States and from other countries too. I've met people from Brazil, India, the Philippines, and there are tons of people from New York, New Jersey, Ohio, California, and that's because Summerville has an attractive price point. According to redfin.com, the median sale price in Summerville was $330,000 as of April 2023. Plus, with its proximity to Charleston, you can still enjoy all of the things to do in Charleston, while still being able to retreat to your quiet, affordable community. Now, the next thing you need to know about living in Summerville, South Carolina is the political climate. It's no secret that South Carolina is definitely a red state, but what you might not know about Summerville, South Carolina and the Charleston area as a whole is that it's more politically balanced than the rest of South Carolina. There's more of a diverse mix of perspectives here compared to the rest of South Carolina, so that makes it a little bit easier to find your group of like-minded people. And regardless of your political leanings, another thing that came as a result of the politics here is the level of freedom that we do have, especially while the pandemic was happening a few years ago. So during the pandemic, Charleston remained open longer than a lot of other places in the US. For the most part, we were still allowed to work, play, we were allowed to go places, and a lot of places here were still open, while places in New York and California were completely shut down. Also, parents had the option to send their kids to school in person rather than being forced to stay home and attend school online. So this definitely kept a sense of normalcy and routine for families for the most part. The third thing you need to know about living in Summerville, South Carolina is that there's a lot of beautiful history and parks to explore. There are parks like the Colonial Dorchester State Park, which is home to a historic fort and a colonial era town site. There's also the Middleton Place, a National Historic Landmark house that may or may not be haunted. And of course there's Ashley River Park and Azalea Park near downtown Summerville. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, please like the video and consider subscribing to learn more about living in Charleston, South Carolina. The fourth thing you need to know about living in Summerville, South Carolina is the award-winning Dorchester II School District. According to niche.com, the #1 best school district in the whole Charleston area is the Dorchester II district. The following stats still come from niche.com. The Dorchester II district is also the 5th most diverse school district in South Carolina. It's the 10th best school district for athletes in South Carolina, and some of these schools include Fort Dorchester Elementary, Rawlings Middle School of the Arts, and Ashley Ridge High School. The 5th thing you need to know about living in Summerville, South Carolina is the flood zones. So remember that we're in a coastal area. That means we are vulnerable to flooding during heavy rains and hurricanes. A lot of people tell me that they don't want to live in a flood zone, but all of Charleston is technically in some type of flood zone. So the difference lies in degree of risk in these flood zones. What you need to know for now is that most homes in Summerville are in the flood zone X, which is the minimal risk flood zone. That means there's around a 0.2% chance to a 1% chance of flooding every year. If you want to learn more about flood zones, then check out my video here about all the different types of flood zones in Charleston, South Carolina. But don't check that out until you finish this video because the last point here is super important. The 6th thing you need to know before moving to Summerville, South Carolina is that there's a wide variety of neighborhoods and homes to choose from. If you're looking for a historic home with lots of character, you're going to find that in the historic district of Summerville. It's a short walk or drive to downtown Summerville's shops and restaurants. And if you're looking for a community with a golf course or a tennis club, there is Legend Oaks Plantation. And if you're looking for new construction with modern amenities, there are plenty of options in Cane Bay, Nexton, or the Ponds. Now, the seventh thing that you need to know before moving to Summerville, South Carolina is that if you're planning to buy a home, inventory is very low right now. That means it's competitive for home buyers out there. But something you might not know is that there are special incentives available on new construction homes in Summerville right now. These incentives can include upgrades like granite countertops or hardwood flooring, or you can get financial incentives too, like closing cost assistance. I actually know of a builder right now that is offering a lower interest rate for a limited time. That means you could potentially save hundreds of dollars a month on your mortgage payment. That's a big deal. So if you're interested in saving money or you need a realtor who can help you navigate the market, then reach out. Give me a call, text, or email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're still on the fence and you want to know about the pros and cons of living in Summerville, then watch this video here.